Joker Folie, Deux, the musical that didn't get any Oscar nominations, but Emilia Paris did. Anyway, I really enjoyed this second part, and I'm aware that my opinion here seemed like a bad joke to some. I won't pretend I fully understood all its layers and meanings, but based on what resonated with me, I safely say it is not a bad movie in my eyes. After watching it, I was mentally exhausted, more fried than any fried chicken, you could say. It's such a divisive experience, with a clear intention behind every element, so it's no surprise that reactions have been mixed. The real question here is if it adds anything to its predecessor. Was it necessary? To answer that, I'll say that even while nitpicking and analyzing what I didn't like, I realized that this movie can stand on its own, just like its predecessor, which surely didn't need a continuation in my eyes, since I wasn't keen on a sequel to begin with. These two movies can be interpreted as hypothetical scenarios. This fits with the theme, as the primary intent revolves around not being sure if anything being depicted is real. At least the first one tackled that pretty well. The original movie's ending was like a dark hallway, leading to an unknown destination. We know that eventually this character might clash with our favorite Gotham's vigilante, but we don't know how, when, or if it's truly Arthur will play that role. There's a chance that the entire story unfold only in Arthur's mind, or that parts of it did, but there's a sense of a larger narrative at play. Arthur is only fully himself when he becomes the Joker, just as Bruce Wayne is only truly himself as Batman, and this was something that was carried beautifully into the sequel. Joker 2 explores the questions left open by the first movie. It puts Arthur through another mental trial, where he appears to have lost his signature laugh until he meets Lee, a patient eager to meet the Joker. From this point, we see glimpses of the Joker emerging while Arthur takes the back seat, until later in the story when the Joker persona comes out in full force. Joaquin Phoenix is once again brutal, vicious, and unpredictable in this role, delivering a performance that's uniquely his own. He absolutely nailed it, and I hope to see him reprise this role in some way in the future. The classic Joker is self-aware, as if he knows he's in a comic book, while Arthur struggles to distinguish reality. He battles internally, vacillating between the two sides of himself. It's a turbulent journey. He's beaten physically and mentally, constantly fighting both himself and the world that seems to push back against him, even as he tries and fails to understand him. That sense of dread from the first movie is still here, together with an empathy for Arthur, mixed with a fear of what he might do next. It's impressive how this movie manages to focus on such a challenging character. Movies like Taxi Driver and Titan have succeeded in depicting morally complex characters through a blend of violence, and Joker 2 follows in those steps. It embraces discomfort to realistically portray a fractured mind, searching for a place in a world that only ends up breaking him further. In that way, this movie is bluntly relatable, because in our society it's not hard to imagine how someone might end up like the Joker. And no, I am not justifying violence, nor do these movies. They just present the grim reality of such stories. Lee is like a sanctuary for Arthur. She wants to know the Joker, but not necessarily Arthur. This is where the story's true essence emerges. People try to diagnose Arthur with a split personality disorder, or claim he's faking mental illness, but it's neither of those things. After a devastating encounter with the guards, Arthur admits that there is no Joker, there's only him. My favorite scene was the interrogation of Gary Puddles, Arthur's former friend. It was heartbreaking to watch Gary talk about Arthur. You could tell they were close, and the scene's attention to detail was stunning. When the Joker yells that he has no more questions, it's a desperate moment where he breaks character and reveals he genuinely cares about Gary. It's another proof that Arthur is just Arthur. He has no disorder, he's just a man who reached his breaking point. Someone who donned a mask to feel free and confident, hoping that people might see him as Lee did, but in the end, she left. Why did she leave? That's one of the central questions of the movie. Lee loved the persona, the Joker, but she didn't see Arthur. She wanted the Joker, a mask, a different identity. This becomes another moment where Arthur feels misunderstood. Even the person he thought finally understood him ends up wanting him to be something he's not. The movie should have ended here, but what follows changes things. Back at Arkham, Arthur is approached by an inmate who tells a joke and then stabs him. The movie ends with Arthur lying on the floor, reinforcing the idea that the Joker, as presented in these two movies, is more of a concept, one that someone else might adopt in the future. And here I am again saying that the first movie didn't need a sequel. We already had an origin story with The Killing Joke, and these two movies added their own take. One of the things that made Heath Ledger's Joker so memorable was how he constantly changed his backstory, leaving it up to the audience. The ending of the first Joker movie left space for theories and possibilities, but this sequel's conclusion doesn't evoke the same feeling for me. Yes, there's still room for interpretation, but my real frustration is that I'm disappointed Arthur's story ends this way, cutting out the possibility of Arthur stepping on the shoes and confirming it's someone else. Have you seen Joker 2? What did you think? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, and we'll see each other in the next one. See you.